The same vein, human rights lawyer Femi Falana has called on President Bola Tinubu to address the demands of the peaceful protesters. In a statement on Sunday, Falana said that the presidential speech delivered this morning fell short of addressing the key demands of the protesters, reversal of the policy of withdrawal of fuel subsidy. Now, while congratulating the protesters for drawing the attention of politicians who are eating in Abuja to the plight of millions of Nigerians who are hungry, Falana demanded the immediate and unconditional release of all protesters that were arrested and detained, saying they had not committed any criminal offense. Falana also condemned the repression of the peaceful protesters while commiserating with all those who lost loved ones in the protest. He called on the government to set up commissions of inquiry to bring to justice those responsible for the reckless killings. Now, joining us on the news is Mohammed Abdullahi, a public affairs analyst. Hello, Mohammed. Thank you for joining us at this time.
Good evening, Nigerians. It's my pleasure.
All right. Now, speaking of the protest and the president's address, do you think that the president's address shows that he truly gets what Nigerians are going through? And, is he offering, or would you say he's offering real solutions to their struggles, or it's just more of the same thing?
First and foremost, I think we must give kudos to the presidency for at least after the third day of the protest, coming out to, address Nigerians. That is good. It means the presidency is listening. I'm not talking particularly about the president, but the presidency as a whole is listening, and at least they are seeing what is going on across the length and breadth of Nigeria. But for me, this is my opinion, that is just where it stops. Listening to the address of the president this morning was quite not motivating because it reveals the fact that while President Tinubu and this administration was coming into existence, they actually understood to some extent the challenge or the many challenges of Nigerians, particularly where we are coming from the previous government. But perhaps because they are from the same party, he's been unable to voice out. And then when it is at the critical moment now, the president is really accepting the fact that Nigeria's economy and even the state of infrastructure and so many other things are in shambles. But having said that, I think what is painful for Nigerians, seriously, is the fact that these austerity measures are just meant only for downtrodden and ordinary Nigerians. If the government led by example or is leading by example, I tell you, a whole lot of Nigerians on the street today will really understand and support the government to make things work. Yes, we know we can't continue with subsidy as it were. We know so many things have to change. But the people at the helm of affairs, starting with the president, I must say, is not, is not following suit. What do I mean? The president understands that we don't have more money for subsidy, we don't have all other things, but he's had the most bloated cabinet ever in Nigeria, at least about 50 or so ministers, or even more. In fact, recently he just created a new ministry of livestock whatsoever. That is one. Secondly, we don't have money, but we refurbish the vice president's home, someone who has been in governance as a commissioner, as a governor for at least 16 years, enjoying taxpayers' money. We refurbish that same person's home for 21 billion Nigerian naira. Come on. And so many other things that people in government, from the presidency, the legislature, will increase the judiciary salary by more than 300%. It was speedily passed by the National Assembly. And yet, you are asking Nigerians to endure and endure and endure while you, at the helm of affairs, is living so large, luxuriously. Nobody will understand with you. Seriously. I think these are some of the areas or the main areas where Nigerians are not